A woman discovered her husband lied to her about going to work one day after her neighbor tipped her that he was actually going to get married to another woman. The angry wife stormed the ceremony with her child in tow, accusing her husband of adultery. They say the truth hurts. For one married woman, she'll learn the hard way that one way or another, the past will come back to haunt you in ways you'd least expect it to. It was supposed to be another normal day for Caroline Mubita, where she cared for her 3 children, while her husband went on a work trip. The routine was a normal occurrence in their household, as her husband worked for a government unit. However, it turned out there was more to the story when Mubita's neighbors warned her that her husband wasn't going to work. He was headed to a church to marry another woman. The accusation angered Mubita, who took her kids and stormed to the wedding's location. Upon entering the church, Mubita went straight to the altar and said, "Father, this wedding cannot go on. This man right here is my husband. I don't know what is happening here." Mubita had one of her children strapped to her back when she protested to the priest, claiming she and her husband are not divorced, nor were they in a bad place. She went on to say that her husband had left their home earlier this morning, who said goodbye to go on a business trip. The groom's family also knew of the wedding and were full support for the bride-to-be, who had allegedly been giving them financial help for months. The angry woman was confronted by a wedding guest, who demanded that she stop making a scene. While all of this was happening, the groom, Abraham Muyunda, had his hands to his face, and his unnamed bride-to-be seemed unfazed by it all. It turned out that the bride-to-be knew who Mubita was all along. The groom's family also knew of the wedding, and were full support for the bride-to-be, who had allegedly been giving them financial help for months. In an interview after the fiasco, Muyunda revealed that he and Mubita had been separated since 2013. She left him when he didn't have a job, and only resurfaced when he finally had stable income. His family also preferred his new bride over Mubita, and they were happily involved with the planning as well. Before the church ceremony, both families had gotten together to attend the traditional wedding ceremony between the couple. A source went on to share that the groom's family fully supported the man's union with his new bride, as she is someone they consider wealthy. In fact, she paid for the entire wedding, and the couple planned to move to South Africa together following their nuptials. The groom and his family argued that the marriage with Mubita ended when she left him years ago when he lost his job. To them, although they were not legally divorced, the union was never the same. From Mubita's point of view, she felt cheated. Her husband was at home that same morning, and he lied about where he would be. Although she left her husband due to financial reasons years back, the fact that they were still together meant he had an obligation to stay truthful to her. The ceremony was ultimately halted, and Muyunda was taken to the police station where the whole issue was settled privately between the two parties.